Hey y'all, welcome to Surgeon of Steel Budgets. My name's Sarah. I'm a 29-year-old cash budgeter, and today we're going to be doing my September monthly budget. So let's get into it. And we're just going to get right into it. So, write down that this is the month for September. And September is a magic month for me, so I get 5 paychecks because I'm paid weekly from both of my jobs. So, pretty excited about that. Also in the month of September, I do get a raise from my main job. So first off, I am going to kind of figure out what that will do to my weekly paycheck. So I already got my first paycheck for the month of September, and that's my old wage, and then the remaining 4 paychecks for the month will be my new wage. So I am totally okay with sharing what I take home. I know some budgeters are not, and that is a-okay. We all do our own things. But so what I have figured out for my wage increase, it's usually a certain percentage. We have a meeting for it on Wednesday, but I'm going to be gone for that meeting, so it's okay. I kind of already did the math. But for, I can't talk and write at the same time apparently. I should have prepped this. The first one that I already got did have a few extra hours in it because I was taking a test that I got paid for. So that one ended up being a smidgen over 900. But then, so my base pay is usually $865 for a week, but so what I expect the pay increase will bring me about to $890 per week, so that'll be for the remaining 4 paychecks. And so that's for my main job. So calculate that. Oh wait, let me do this part first. Plus 900. I think I did that right. I don't know. Second guess myself all the time. 4 plus 900. So that should be 4,460. And my side gig. I usually average about 150 a week is my take home, but I know that one of the weeks, so Monday is a holiday, so I get holiday pay for it, so that'll bump that up. So it'll bring it up a smidgen more. So calculate that. Should get about 800. Plus 466, 5260. Wow, let me just put the comma in the wrong spot. Yeah, I wish I made $52,000 a month. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and I shouldn't cover that. There we go. I'll just move it over there. Anyways, so now that we have my monthly income figured out, I'm just going to fill it in over here. And I'm just going to put main side. So, fill this in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in all my regular bills into the fixed expenses, because what I do is I don't pull cash out from my bills. I just leave whatever bills are for the week in my account. They go out. A lot less hassle in my brain. So I'm gonna start off with the first bill that comes out in the month, which is my Google One storage. And that, I just round up to the nearest dollar. That way I don't have to deal with change, and then what's ever left over from my account each week gets thrown into a savings account. And then I try not to touch it, but I know how I am as a person, and we'll see how long that lasts. Next one is Discovery Plus, and that's what that is. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill all this in, and then I'll fast forward through it so you don't have to suffer through it. Alright, so I also leave fuel money in my account for every week because I use the app called Upside. It gives me cash back on all fuel expenses that if they contract with different fuel companies and gas stations and stuff like that, so they can give you that reward. I'll put my referral link up on the screen and down in the description if you'd like to start getting some cash back on some fuel. And then it also does with some like restaurants and such. Next we'll get into my variable expenses, which is basically what I take out in cash every week, or what I take out in cash for the month. So I pay my rent via money order, and the place I go to just prefers cash. So I pull that in cash out every week as well. And then we have my spending and my groceries. I did have date night in here, but me and my boyfriend have talked about what he calls going Sparta, so that we spend a little less money. Basically, it's a no spend. But so my rent is $1,200. I calculate about $40 a week in spending cash. And I mean, throughout the month I do have my no spend challenge, and that money I can also use as spending. I just don't calculate that out until I'm doing my cash stuffing. I don't account for that, I'll put it that way. And then since it's just me, I do $60 in groceries every week, which a lot of times it's only like $30 to $40, but then there's other times where I do have to, stock back up on my smoothie stuff and protein powder and all that fun jazz, so I just put in a little extra. And then, so we'll calculate that up. I could do that in my head, but since I'm on camera, my brain has the dumb. And we will get into my debt. So, Pioneer is my credit cards, and I pay $236 a month on that. Then I have my student loans kicking back in. Yay, said no one ever. And I am saving $350 for that for next month's payment. I don't think it's $350, but I am just gonna save that just in case. And with it being a magic month, it's not really gonna hinder too much of anything, but. And then we have my car payment. And that's $339. And we got $236 plus $925. And so once I get to this point, I calculate all of this before I can even think about savings. Because these are my living expenses. Anything after that is savings. So I'm going to put all of these totals down here in these boxes. So then now all I do to figure out what... I don't break it down on this. When I go through and do my weekly budgeting, sometimes I'll break it down, but I've just been putting binder savings on these sheets just to signify where it's going. But 9 times out of 10, I just shove whatever amount into whatever envelopes pleases my brain, whichever. Anyways, so we will start taking these totals. Whew! Thank God for magic months. Oh, this is a Pilot Friction. I think it's Pilot. Yeah, it's Pilot. Pilot Friction pen, so it's an erasable pen. Definitely recommended. I enjoy the option to erase because I make mistakes all the time. So I like to deal with like whole numbers. So the total left over is $18.92, but I'm only going to put $18.90 as what my savings are. Just because I usually don't deal with singles. So I go to the ATM to pull out my cash for cash stuffing, just because the way my work schedule is, I have to wake up earlier to go to the bank, and I enjoy my sleep, so I'm just not going to do all that. My ATM gives out hundreds, 20s, and 5s, and so I can usually get what I need from that. So I don't like to make it more complicated than it already is. So I'm gonna put $8.90 down here for savings, and then I usually just put rollover for the month should be, $2, which it'll be more than that because these bills are all rounded up to the nearest dollar, so it's whatever. But yeah, this is just kind of how my budget looks for the month of September. Yeah, it should be a really good month with my wage increase and it being a magic month. So next week we'll get into doing a weekly budget and all that fun jazz. But for now, that is all I have. So y'all have a good rest of your day. Thanks.